Okay, everyone, welcome back to Flipside. I thought we were going back to Tunes Brothers, but we're still Flipside, and that's
Well,
cool
that's
with me,
that's the
man.
name of the show. So we are the Tunes Brothers.
Oh,
The show
okay,
is called
yeah,
The Flipside.
I got you. Just different things under one name.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'm Scotty G, man. We got Big Jim over here from the Longhorn State, and we got Down Under Dave right down under us right here. And I'm going to go ahead, I guess, and give my take on what we're doing tonight. This was my draw. It is Britny Fox, Boys in Heat. Okay. And I do believe this was a 1989 release, if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely brilliant album, in my opinion, dude. I do believe one of you guys check it out on the computer, what singles were released from this freaking album, because I do think that they made a mistake on some of the singles they released, because there's two on here that I know for sure, one especially, I think would have went through the roof, even if it was 1989. I mean, for God's sakes, Skid Row had just put their self-titled album out, their first debut album. So yes, you still had time. And I'm going to take up for these guys and say that I bought their first album when it came out the year before in 88, because I seen their video on MTV, which was Long Way to Love. I loved it. I loved the album. I did not even know this one was out. That's how different it was in 1 year's time with this band. But when I did finally hear this album, I fell in love with it. Yeah, there's some covers on here, not covers, but there's some throwaways on here, but not. We're talking AC/DC throwaways here, man. This band is excellent at putting things on the album that's not meant to go out as singles, I guess you could say. What is it called? What's the word? What are they?
What are we talking about? Sorry.
Songs on the album, not the hits.
Filler
Deep
tracks.
Filler
Deep
tracks.
To me,
filler tracks.
I don't think so. I think deep tracks might be better. What you might be thinking. Filler tracks to me are songs that are like sea level type songs. Right?
Yes, I agree. I agree. To me, these are not fillers. These are deep tracks on here. And that's the difference between an album that I really like everything on and love a lot of the material. Whoever produced this band, they done a outstanding job on both of these albums. Actually, on their first three albums were absolutely flawless sounding in every capacity you can think of. The vocals, the drums, the bass, the lead guitars, everything is mixed so fucking great on these albums. Everything stands out. The vocals are not so far ahead or behind. It blends so perfectly. And one thing I will say, they're a Cinderella clone band. If you look at them for the first time on their first album, they look just like Cinderella did when they came out. And of course, just a couple years before their first one, I think 2 years, 2 years before Britny Fox came out. And I'm going to say it right here in front of everyone. This band is better than Cinderella. And I don't give a shit what anybody says or thinks about me for saying that. No, they didn't make it bigger. They didn't write the piano playing sloppy ballads, but they rock harder and their sound is way better on these albums than Cinderella's production was. Production means the world to me, man. When I hear something and that sound grabs me, this band grabbed me when I first heard them. They still grab me to this day. I love this album. Of course, there's going to be things on here that I like better than others. And actually, my favorite songs on this album by this band. And when we get to it, I'll explain why this should have been a single. I don't understand bands or the music, the record companies or whoever it is that decides to put these singles out. Sometimes it just blows when I had hair back. But anyway, I love the album. I love this band. I hate they couldn't have carried on longer than they did. They did carry on for a while, but unheard of. And this is the one thing I agree with Rob on is this band. Now, whether we agree on the same songs, that's yet to be seen. But anyway, I loved it. It was a great listening experience again. Just this whole album was awesome. So that's my take. It was my pick, of course. So, Jim, we're probably in a little unfamiliar. You know, I think Dave will be more on. He likes more of this kind of stuff, you know, but I don't know how he feels about this yet. But Jim, give us your take.
All right.
Let us know where you stand.
I'll give you my take. Well, as most of you guys probably know, and when Scotty announced this last week, they were all, "Oh, Jim's going to hate this," right? I had never heard of Britny Fox, to be honest, right? You know, obviously I was aware of some of their contemporaries in 1989, the bands that actually, you know, were more popular. How about that? I don't want to say better. I would say more popular.
Yeah.
And but I think I'd heard Rob mention them or something, and I think I heard somebody else mention them, but I didn't know who they were. I didn't remember hearing any of it on the radio or MTV. But by that point in 1989, I really wasn't watching MTV anymore, and to be honest, I wasn't really listening to the radio a whole heck of a lot either. So for me, it was a new experience, right, to listen to it. Like with most records, there are things I like, things I don't like. You know, my 25-year-old self would have not even bothered to listen to it because it's not the kind of genre that I was into. But a 65-year-old me with more experience has an open mind about listening to things and giving an opinion. So one side of me is going to say I don't like it, and the other side of me is going to say I'm going to listen to it and see what I do like and what I don't like about it, and go from there. It's like all art is subjective. Somebody can go into a museum, look at a painting and say, "Oh, that's genius." And the next person in line says, "Looks like my 5-year-old could have done that in daycare." Right. So Same thing. Music's the same way. We all don't like the same things for whatever reasons, you know? And so for me, when we go through this, I'll talk about what I like and maybe what I didn't like so much, but I will say that I did use the phone a friend thing because I thought for sure that the guy that does some of the guitar solos for me liked these guys. And so I texted him. I asked him, "Hey, you know, you've heard of Britny Fox, right?" And I said, "What did you think?" And he said he loved the album. Awesome album. So I get 1/2 a point just for having a friend who actually likes this, because I don't have any other friends that probably would have said they liked it. So I get a point for having him, and he and I are actually friends, and he actually loves this genre of music, and it's a wonder that he and I could ever play music in the same band together, or that we could he could play on my songs, but he does. So that's that. So I'm not going to come out here and say, "Oh, this was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life," because I don't think it was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. So, Dave, we'll go to you now.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
What's that?
Get some new friends.
Yeah,
He
no,
has. He's got us now.
I found you
That's
guys,
right,
okay?
that's
So
right,
or
that's
you
right.
found me. So
Yeah.
that's the extent of the sphere of my my friendship thing these days, right? I don't leave the
Yeah.
house unless I have to, you know.
Hey, I feel you on that, brother. And look, things that I pull out of I guess my hiding spots when it comes to my pick or whatever. I know a lot of it you're really not going to like the vocals, the heaviness and stuff like that, but the music is what I figure I can grab you with something. You know, the guitars, the drums, the
We'll
sound, stuff
find
like
out.
that. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Before I go, people have
I'm sure
asked
we
where
will
Rob
agree to
is.
disagree in some places.
I figured Rob would have been here for this one.
Rob had every intention of being on here tonight. Unfortunately, he didn't get his 2 days off that he wanted.
Oh yeah, man.
And he's sporting a bit of a headache as well. So I'm sure we've all seen in the comments, Rob gives this an A+. So
yeah.
if it had been here, he would have said good.
I can't believe it. I picked something that Rob likes. There is a God.
I'm sure you'll disappoint him next time. So
I'm pretty sure I will.
If you don't, I will.
A bit like Jim, Britny Fox weren't anything out here in Australia, so I hadn't really heard a lot of them. I know the girls' school song, and a bit like Jim, I'd heard Rob talk about them and Darren talk about them back in the day. So I have heard little bits and pieces. There are a couple of songs on here that were familiar to me. One of them because it was a cover, but I actually enjoyed the album. This set me right back to the 80s, and Rob and I have been having a lot of fun with the 80s on Backtracks of late. And in case you all want to know, we have a special hard rock episode of Backtracks on Sunday, so it's nothing but hard rock. So there'll be a lot of this stuff on there. Yeah, enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun album. There's nothing on here I disliked. Obviously, there are some standout tracks, I think, but we'll get to them as we go through. But yeah, I'm hoping Jim found some good stuff in it. I get it. Even to be honest, even by the late 80s, I'd sort of changed tact a little bit with music. But yeah, so this just takes me back to I've always said a fun time in music. The music was fun. It was all about having a good time. And
damn right.
You know, we could all do with a bit more of that in our lives at the moment. So
oh God, yes.
You know, the world didn't take itself too seriously back in the 80s. And
no, we didn't.
You know, fingers crossed, one day we'll get back there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not I agree with Scotty on the best song.
Okay.
I got two are pretty much tied, and one that's not far behind. So yeah.
Yeah, I got a few of them tied, and I got one favorite, and I got a couple fillers or deep cuts is what I'll call them on this album. But yeah, man, look, a band I never did get to see either. Ironically, I never got to see these guys. So yeah.
So this was the last album that the singer did with this band too, isn't it?
Yeah,
I believe it is.
I was going to say also, I think the original lineup had two former members of Cinderella, but the drummer, I think, died in a car crash before they made records or whatever. And so maybe that's the Cinderella connection. I mean, that's what I remember reading, at least on the internet. But
well, the Cinderella connection was they looked like them. They physically looked like them. One blonde-headed, long-haired guy in the band, just like Cinderella. The rest of them long, dark hair, and they dressed like them. So that's why I you know, you can pull up a picture of Cinderella on Night Songs and pull up a picture of these guys on their debut. Fucking damn near just same. I mean, well, no shit.
Axe bass line and guitar said Boys in Heat is one of the three hairband albums I say is perfect from start to finish.
Close to me.
So are you a new viewer? Because I don't remember seeing that Ag before.
And you know, this album got no love at all. And that's when I say when you guys get to the songs that were released as singles, if they released one or two, I'm pretty sure they did. They had videos for a couple on here. Let me know.
Well, I think Standing in the Shadows was one of them.
Yes.
Dream On.
Yes.
And someone said Hair of the Dog also got a lot of.
I do not remember that one being released as a single. I do not. Make sure, guys, because Guns N' Roses put a cover of Hair of the Dog out too, and we'll get to that when we get to the song. Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, let's get to song number 1, In Motion.
All right. We're taking off, baby. It's a boy, the hot rod is. Yeah, this is how to start a album. Right here. Right in your face. You're getting ready to hit the drag strip, baby, and take off. No. That's it. Yeah. That's how it began, right? You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And it is a high tempo song with great the vocals from this guy. Look, I love the third album too, but there's a lot on it that I'm not crazy about, but there's like 3 or 4 songs on it that I absolutely love. But without Dizzy Dean, or that, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
That, to me, that's the heart and soul of this band. He's the unique sounding front man. And I know the other guy, he sings and harmonizes a lot with Dizzy, that does some singing, all the singing on the third album. But he does some singing on this one. I think Dizzy done all the singing on the first album. Now, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, I think he does. I could be wrong. But anyway, In Motion, yes. Great. We're taking off barreling wheels, smoking wheels, and drumming wide open, and then it goes off into that great riff, man. And it's like I said, the sound is amazing. I love this song. We're going to hit 3 or 4 songs here that I'm not going to have anything bad to say about. So, perfect beginner. Already starting off good.
All right, Jim, what do you say?
All right. My turn? Well, Motley, what's the verdict? Motley says, I don't like this one. You're half and half. I like the song. I love the music to this. I think it's a great rock and roll song. It's a great opener, right? I think I like the production of it. I like the way it sounds. I like the guitar work on it. I think the guitar work's not too over the top, right? It's not mixed up too high where it becomes obnoxious. The only thing I don't like, and again, this is preference, I don't really care for that type of vocal stuff. But that's just me. Other than that, the song is fine, but it's just a preference for me, right? In terms of the high-pitched vocal that he does there. But I understand that's the genre, and it's just my preference. But as far as the song goes, musically, the musicality of it, yeah, I think it's great. I think it does what it's supposed to do. It's just a straight up rock song, and it delivers. Now, as Dave would say, does it deliver all the way through the end? So we'll find out, Dave. So I didn't hate it, but there were just, would it have sounded? But I'm not going to go, would this, coulda, shoulda, woulda. It is what it is. It's the genre. It's the style. And it's probably the one thing. So, for example, my friend Chris from the studio, his band, Oceans of Slumber, I love them until the singer starts growling. When she starts growling, I'm done, right? But musically, they're phenomenal, And so, but even this kind of, I don't want to call it screaming, because it's not really screaming. It's a texture. It's a tone that you got to know how to do it right, or you're going to hurt your voice. And it was a thing. And, Not my
Now
favorite.
I will hold hands with you on this, brother. Look, the modern day metal, even the last, I don't know, 20 years of the hardcore metal, I don't like that.
Yeah, no.
I don't like that growling shit, bro. I'm lost when that shit starts. I don't like Slipknot. I don't like bands like that, man. They've got maybe one song in their whole damn arsenal that I actually could almost take to. Musically, yeah, okay. But vocals for shit. I hated Stone Sour. Anything that Corey had a part of, I did not like. And there you go. I mean, the vocals have got to perform for me. So go ahead, Dave.
I was going to say, Scotty, you always told me you loved it when you women growled. Or is that something different?
No, it's according what they was on the scale. If they were 10 out of 10, they could growl or do any damn thing they wanted to, you know.
Look, I'm going to agree with Jim a little bit because I think this guy's vocals can be a bit fatiguing. I mean, I listened to this album probably in 3 parts, and I'm probably happy I did because I do think his voice could become annoying over a long period of time. And so I get what Jim's saying that, but the song itself, I love the song. I think it's a great way to kick an album off. Probably one of the best openers we've had on the album so far that we've done.
Yeah, I think it's right up there with Rebel. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nothing horrible about the song. Like I said, even though the guy's vocals aren't particularly my favorite thing, I can live with them. I think it works in with the music they're doing. And like I said, it's just a fun album. I think it starts the album off in a really positive note. So I'm happy.
Can't you see him and Tom Kiefer for Cinderella? You know how he sings.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely.
So okay, yeah, all right,
definitely. I can see why people, sort of put them together, but yeah, I'm sure they would have been happy to have the success that Cinderella had. So
yes,
but we don't always know why some bands make it bigger than others, and musically you can listen to them and think this band's superior, but for whatever reason they just don't get the break.
But what I don't understand,
I was kind of surprised that. I was kind of surprised where the album charted, right? I kind of thought it would have been a little higher than it was, and that probably explains why I didn't 79, I think, is where yeah. So that kind of surprised me, right? Because
go ahead.
This genre was very popular 88, 89, right? It was really popular. So I'm surprised it didn't chart higher, but who am I? I don't know what was ahead of it.
To me, we'll get to it. To me, it's the singles. I think they couldn't have done a better job releasing the singles off the first album. That's why it was so good and so noticed over here. But I feel like what, Callie? What, baby? What? We got a cat on the set here now. Yeah, we'll get to him. We'll get to him, and I'll explain.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll go to track number 2. Was a single, Standing in the Shadows,
and Dream On.
Not to be confused with the other Dream On.
Yeah, it's not the Aerosmith song, is it?
No.
That would have been bad to have 2 covers.
Got a kick-ass little riff. Yeah, I've been in the shadows of love. What are you talking about? Yeah, man, this is another one I love. I think it's perfect. I think it's superb. I think that little dun 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 dun, that trotting riff, man, great. The vocals again. I could listen to this guy sing. And another thing that I love about this band, the consistency. I'm a huge AC/DC fan. These guys are persistent with a beat and sound that I love, and that's why there's no throwaway tracks for me on any of these guys' albums except for the third one. The first two are flawless in that concern. But Standing in the Shadows, I've got nothing against this one as a single. It's the other one when we get to it. This one is perfect. The leads are great. And again, not to beat a dead horse, the sound is spectacular. A lot of people, I don't understand how a lot of things made it over time, because there's some things, and everybody's got a different ear to production, man. I understand that too. But when it's crisp, clear, a little grungy, a little gritty, a little distorted, but not too much, and everything is just sounds so perfect. That's me. That's what I love. So this one, great track, and I got nothing to knock on it about it being released, but we'll get to the other one.
All right. So
Jim.
For me, this one's kind of similar for me as to the first one. That musically, I think it's really good. If I compared the two vocally, I like the vocal on the first one more than I like the vocal on this one a little bit. But that's just, again, my ear works. And I thought the backing vocals really throughout the whole album sounded really good, right? I think the backing vocals sounded really good. And I kind of like how they did the key change going to the guitar solo. I mean, it's kind of a thing that people do a lot, right? And they did it a couple times in here, but I like that. It was a good change up, right? Kind of change the pace of the song a little bit. So like, again, for me, again, musically, really good. Nothing to say bad about that. A lot of energy. Yeah, I noticed that syncopated guitar. That's cool. I always like that kind of stuff. So again, the only thing that ever holds me back on any of these songs, that because there's some that I'm fine with, but is just that vocal thing for me. That's just me. But as far as the songs are concerned, I don't have a problem with them.
All right, I know we don't actually rank these songs. I think we should at some stage, Scotty, do a couple.
We need to.
Ranking videos again, where we
need to.
It always throws up some good arguments when people put the best song on the album last, and you go, "What the?"
Yeah.
I mean, Captain Lou was pretty good for doing that.
Yeah, he was.
This, if I was ranking, this ranks at number 3 on the album for me. I think it's a great choice for a single. Like you guys, I like that riff as well. The vocal didn't bother me on this one. I think it suits this song, and I think that's what I mean. Sometimes it's going to with him. I think they, once again, a great job, a great way, 1-2 punch. You listen to these first 2 songs, it gives you a whole lot of positive attitude going into the rest of the album. We all know we've had this before, though, where we start off really strong and the arse end falls out real quick. Hopefully it doesn't happen this time. We'll find out. So we move into track number 3, which of course is the cover of Nazareth's Hair of the Dog. And you always ask questions when bands do covers, but let's see if they did a good job. Son of a bitch.
Yep.
That always reminds me of Smokey and the Bandit.
You son bitch.
You son bitch. When I get home, I'm gonna punch your mama in the mouth.
Yep. Okay. Yes. Hair of the Dog. The infamous hair of the dog that bit me. All right. Nazareth done it, of course. Guns N' Roses did it. A lot of bands have played it and or covered it over time. I'm going on the record saying this is the best one. I like this one even better than the original. This is my favorite Hair of the Dog that I've ever heard anybody play and or cover. It's perfect. He's got those echo screams that is not, that's, I guess, this his own way of adding to the song. Guns N' Roses done it okay, but this one right here blows Axl and the boys out of the water. They don't have a chance with this one right here. And I like this guy's vocal range way better than I do Axl's anyway. So that's just a personal preference, but perfect cover. They don't change anything, but he adds a little vocal, out of this world screams and stuff. I love it. It adds to the song. It does not feel like they tried to transform the damn song. So, yes, perfect. We're 3 in a row right here that I love and wouldn't change. And I will say, if they didn't, and I don't think they did, so whoever said that, this would have been a very, very, very poor missed opportunity to not. Why are you making a cover if you're not going to release it? So if anybody can give me a solid answer, did they release Hair of the Dog as a single? Because I never heard it played or seen a video or nothing of it. So, Jim.
Yeah, no, I was obviously a big fan of the original. It came out when I was a tweener or a teenager, early teenage years, right? Nazareth. It was one of those songs that had bad words in it. So, you get to, and nobody, I don't think the censors figured that out right away. I think they did a really good job with it. They didn't stray too far from the original, right? And I do like the vocal on this, right? Because he's down an octave lower at least, right? And it doesn't sound like it hurts him so much, except for that one part.
I think this is the other guy singing.
Is it the other guy? Because there's a high part that gets sung too. And
yeah, he comes in. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do like this version of the song. Like I said, they didn't try and change it or anything. They, like I said, they added a few things because in 1989 technology and stuff was much better than it was in the early 70s when Nazareth did this. Guitars were a little bit heavier, right, and things like that. But I like this. I'm not going to say if it was number 1, 2, 3, or 4 or whatever, because it's a cover, right? And I like to kind of production-wise, it's very good. I like the whole album. So I liked it. I don't know if they used a talk box or didn't use a talk box on it, but to me it sounded great. I liked it.
Sounds like they did.
They did, but it's not quite as prominent, maybe as.
No, not as much. Yeah, not as standard. Yeah, yeah.
But I like this, and I do like the vocal delivery on this a lot better. Just again.
Yeah, you're gonna take to the other guy singing better on some of these songs than Dizzy Dean. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Well, Motley says Dizzy sang all of them, so. And
well, yeah, he does, but there's parts in this song that he don't sing.
Yeah.
And there's parts on Dream On that he don't sing, which we'll get to that. You can tell a clear difference.
It's funny. I know it's not that version, but because I'd never heard this, and I was like, oh my gosh, did they do 2 covers? And I was thinking to myself, how would his voice sound doing that really high part, the Steven Tyler high part, right? Because he has a nice range, right? And I was just like wondering what it would have sounded like, but of course it wasn't the Aerosmith song, but
you were thinking, oh my god, they've done 2 covers. Who are they? Van Halen?
Well, yeah, okay.
Sorry, Scotty.
They done a whole album of covers. Didn't
you can't fight me because I'm a long way away.
Diver Down was all covers, wasn't it? I believe it was.
I don't know.
they're probably one of those bands that didn't do as many covers as you think, but it's just because they always seem to have one. It just seemed like they were always doing covers. Like I said, when it comes to covers, it's hit and miss, as we know. Some of them are great, and some of them are just, why did you bother? I'm happy to say this was great. I like this song anyway, so I think they've done it justice. The only problem is I prefer Hair of the Pussy to Hair of the Dog, but you go. I agree. I'm not a drinker, so Hair of the Dog means nothing to me. But, and I grew up in the 70s, so there was a lot of Hair of the Pussy. Not so much these days. You remember? Anyway, let's go to track number 4, Living on a Dream.
How's a dog that bit me?
Fine. That was me. Sorry.
That's okay.
I hadn't removed.
Don't do it again.
Yet. I won't.
Don't do it again.
I did like it, so it's good to hear it again.
Only 5 covers on Diver Down. That's probably like 4 too many.
Like I said, it depends whether they're good covers or not. That's the, some songs.
And those were.
Yeah, that's your opinion. Anyway, let's go.
Yep.
That's for another day.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to get rid of that one this time so I don't stuff up.
This, if they were going to release a mid-tempo, slower track, this would have been one to release instead of the other one, and I'll get to that. But here we go with the intro, the Cinderella Bon Jovi-ish with the harmonica and stuff. It doesn't bother me on this. I think it's a great song. They slow it down a little bit, steady tempo, but it's still a rocker. Greatly sung. The backup vocals are great in this too, man, and everything they do. I don't think I've heard them do any bad backup vocals at all. Produced perfect, just like I've said before. Everything's good about this song. Nothing I would change. Just there you go. We're 4 in a row, right? Ain't that 4?
That's 4
for you.
We are starting off and we are staying steady for me to perfection so far. So I love every one of these. I think they're great songs. I think they were done very well. So I've got nothing to say that's going to be controversial. So, Jim.
All right. So yeah, I like the guitar work in the beginning too, and the harmonica, right, gives it a different flavor. They only did it that one time, I think, throughout the album. I think it was the only time they used the harmonica. I'm trying to remember. It was Saturday when I last listened to it. I thought there were nice chords in the verse. And they did the key change again to go in the solo. So, but again, that was a thing that people did and still do, right, to kind of give the song a bit of a bump. And Motley says it's got a bit of a funky groove, right? So it's got the, thing going on with it. So it kind of is a break. It gives you a break from just the straightforward 4/4. It's just a little bit more laid back stuff. So yeah, I mean, to me, it's a good song. I don't think it was the best one on the album, but I didn't mind the vocals so much on this one either. So
yeah, I think he sings it a little bit different on here, but this is the first little dip for me. This is not as good as the first 3. I mean, it's not a bad song. Yeah. I just don't think it's as memorable as the first 3. Like I said, it's not skippable. You're not going to rush to pull that needle off. It just, to me, not quite at the level as the first 3. But I wasn't expecting it just to keep going. that way, but leveling off is good as long as the level stays, at a decent level, and it does.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's nothing on here I don't like. So I expected a little bit of a dip, and just hope it doesn't dip too much. That's all I want. But yeah, just not as memorable to me as the first three. But it is what it is.
Yes, sir.
All right, track number 5. She's So Lonely.
Great riff, man. Yeah, everything's good about this one too. Now I know they get a little repetitive with the chorus. The pre-chorus is really good in this one. They pick the tempo back up almost standard to what we heard in the first 3 songs. But it's not, I don't know if I've said this while Jim's been on here, but I know Dave and Rob and all of them's heard it a million times. Repetitive bothers me sometimes, and sometimes it don't. And sometimes, it doesn't. I don't really think about it. But on this one, it's not bad. It doesn't irritate me to a point to where I'm just can't take it. It's according to how it's sung. They do it great. It's a good song. I think it fits in with me with the first 3 songs. I probably like the first 3 just a little bit better. Yeah, I'm with Dave on that. I do like the last song, slower tempo, whatever, but not quite as good as the first 3. But I do like it. This one, I probably like a skosh above the last song, but not quite as good as the first 3. But it's still a good song. Great sound, great vocals. She's So Lonely, not a bad tune at all.
Why is she lonely? I guess we'll never know because
I don't know, man.
The way she looks.
So
Something's
for
gotta
me,
be wrong.
the way she looks. For me, it was an okay song. Yeah, I thought the chorus was a little too repetitive, right? It didn't really go anywhere for me. For me, the thing I liked best about the song actually was the guitar solo. I really liked the guitar solo in this song. But I think so, where you have this one a bit above Living on a Dream, I have it just below Living on a Dream. For me, my take. I thought it was okay. But it didn't knock my socks off. So I didn't have a whole lot of notes on this one because it didn't, and I listen to these things at least twice before I come up with my notes. So that's my honest opinion. It sounds great. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with any of the songs on this album in terms of sound quality and production, and I think that the musicality of them are all pretty good. But I'm done, Dave.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off Jim because this to me is the worst one on the album. But by saying that, I still don't dislike it. I think to me it is the chorus. I just don't think the chorus is got enough to it. It just meanders a little bit. But like I said, it's still not a bad song, which is good. That the worst song is not a bad song, because we've had some worse songs that have been horrible. So if this is the low point in the album, that's fine. That's fine. You're allowed to. I said you're not going to write 13 bangers. There are 13 tracks on here, so it's good. Now I'm just hoping we get some elevation.
Yeah.
And of course, we get to hear them do Aerosmith's Dream On cover. As soon as I saw the title, I straight away, like a bit like Jim, I thought, oh, is this a cover of Dream On by Aerosmith?
And that's what you're going to think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wished it was, but I shouldn't have said that.
Well, yeah. And even so, at the beginning, Standing in the Shadows, right? There's an old Motown song, right? Standing in the Shadows of Love, right? And I was like, no, there's no way they did that, right? Not putting anything past anybody, but that would have been interesting how they would have done a version of that too. But No,
I've heard
yeah,
crazier things, man.
people do
All
some
right.
crazy covers sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Get to dream on.
All right, guys, dream on. This would probably be, as far as we have went so far, this is the lowest point on the album for me. And of course, this was released as a single. And that is where, look, 88, 89, yes, they're trying to push a power ballad. Okay. Yeah, we just passed one, I think, that would have been better than this one, but we're still not to the one that I would have released yet. My favorite song by them, period, at this point in time. But this one here is so, what's the word I'm looking for? So stereotypical of the time. I think they just put this out there because they were trying to get a hit from a ballad. That's the only reason I think they done that. There's so many songs on here they could have released instead of this one, because to me, this one is just, this is a C. I still like the song. It's done, it's done well like the rest of the songs on here. It's just my least favorite one so far. So, yeah, I know what they were trying to do. I understand it to a certain degree. But I think the singles they used is probably why you didn't get much or any. As a matter of fact, this album, I didn't even get any of this album when it came out. So that's where I stand on this one. It's not a bad song. It's just your average ballad to me. That's it.
I hear where you're coming from on that, Scotty, in terms of, I was alive in 89, so I do remember the power ballads and stuff that came out. Every Rose Has Its Thorn and all those kinds of songs, right? In this genre, right? And so it is kind of reminiscent of that you need to do that. Well, you bust out an acoustic guitar, right? And you throw it on there and you have this power ballad type of a song. I didn't hate the song either, like you. I didn't hate it. I thought the use of the acoustic was good for the type of song it was. I did like his vocals on it. In some ways it's kind of like the other songs, but they threw in a nice chord sequence in there to change it up. So it was a little bit different. So you can see they kind of went out of their way to, make it different, I think, than the other songs. But I could see,
I was guessing this one right here was going to be your favorite one on here. That's what I was guessing.
It's one of them. I put a star next to it as one that I liked, right, at the time when,
Yeah.
But I can see how they tried to make it, the commercial song from the album, and record companies and producers have ways of doing that because it's about selling records, right? I mean, at the end of the day, and the music business is full of bands that did songs that they didn't want to do because the record company said thou shalt do it because we need a hit single or something, right? I think Warrant didn't want to do Cherry Pie, right? I think they hated that thing, right? And
the singer did.
And they did it, and of course it became a hit for them, but they probably loathed doing it because it wasn't really what they wanted to do. And I think the business is full of that kind of story as you go, and everyone in this time period was trying to jump on the bandwagon that was there. But I like the song, right? Because I like the vocals better than in some of the other things. And it's a little bit more, I guess, mainstream in a way, right? trying to crack the top 40 kind of thing. But yeah, not a bad song. I don't know if it's better or worse than any of the other ones. I think throughout the whole thing, everything sounds really good, like I've said before. So, David.
Well, there you go. Scotty's wrong. It's not the first time, and it certainly won't be the last. This is my favorite song on the album. I really like this song. It is different to the rest of the album, and maybe that's really why I like it as well. And I'm more the ballad guy in this panel anyway. So.
Oh no! Don't get over yourself, man. You ever listen to my music?
Yeah, of course I have.
I like ballads. I love a good ballad.
Yeah, I know, but you're new on the panel. I've been carrying the torch for ballads.
I don't count
the last
yet.
Year and a half. So
I did have it marked at one point. I did have it marked as my favorite at the time. So we'll see if it stays my favorite.
I like the ballad if it works. I just think there's better songs on this album.
So, I think it works. I love it. I would playlist this one. It is my favorite. Only just my favorite, but definitely is my favorite. And yeah, I'm sticking to my guns on that one, Scott.
There you go, Dave.
I think it's a great song.
Okay.
All right, track number 7, "Long Way From Home."
Yeah, I love this one too, man. This one's a good one as a ballad. I guess you could call that a ballad. I think that one would have been better than Dream On to have released. We're back heading in the other direction for me. And I'm not saying Dream On's a bad song. I like the song. I just said it was my least favorite thus far on the album. So, yes, to me, the barometer's going back up the hill with this one. Damn good song, got a lot of soul to it, got a lot of feel into this. I think this one was really written good. I think it sounds really good, like the whole album. It's sung to perfection, in my opinion. The other one, the Dream On, the chorus just dream on, oh, dream on. It was just too drawny, I guess you could say, if I wanted to pick at anything. Now we're back, headed in the right direction. I think it's a great song.
Scotty, it's all right to be wrong once, but don't keep making yourself more wrong.
Oh, no.
Just get back on track. Right?
I'm narcissistic. I can't admit that.
I think you're a long way from home at the moment. Jim.
I like the intro, right? It could remind me of something I used to kind of mess around with when I would be playing the guitar. There's this that kind of thing. It reminds me of the tape loop stuff that the Who used on "Won't Get Fooled Again," right? That. Yeah, and so I used to mess around with that kind of a sound. I like the vocal, right? I like the chord progressions in the verse. I really like the pre-chorus on this one. It does sound like it's a cousin of Dream On a little bit in terms of stylistic, right? Not so much a ballad. I think someone said mid-tempo. Maybe it is mid-tempo, but so to me, this one compared to the ones at the beginning of the album that were really just like really, really rocking, right? And then these last two are kind of a little bit more subdued, right? A little more commercial in some ways. Maybe that's why I like them, because I grew up listening to top 40 shit. But yeah, I didn't hate this song. I had this one after Dream On, but I liked it.
And so far they've done this album, in my opinion, like you should put an album together. They started off kicking your ass for like 3 songs. and then they mellow it out a little bit, which not a bad thing. That's so far we're on a great album of and how to put an album together. So go ahead, Dave.
Well, I was going to say, Jim, I forgot to tell you when we gave you your notes for being on the show, don't say cousin too often because it gets Scotty a little too horny.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, say brother-in-law or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If I ever drive through North Carolina, again,
Not sister-in-law, brother-in-law. There you go. Yeah.
Anyway,
all right, Jerry Lee Lewis.
This is another great song. I love this one. This is probably, I think this has the most memorable chorus of all the songs so far. To me, this is just, one of those melodic hard rock songs. I like it. It's not as good as Dream On, but it's up in the upper echelon. And as I said, this album's flowing really well at the moment. And I said I was a bit worried because when I saw there was 13 tracks on here, I thought, not many bands pull off 13 good tracks.
No, they don't. And another thing about this album, it doesn't seem like it's that long. Yeah. It does not seem like there's 13 tracks on here, not in my opinion. But go ahead.
That was one of the things that I noticed and I wrote down too that I liked was that the songs were all relatively short, really about 4 minutes long each, right? Instead of 5 or 6 minute songs where you can extend something and then you kind of start to lose the momentum of what the song is. Kind of get in, get out, right? Give the people what they want, but don't give them so much of it that they get sick of it, part of the way through. Like you start throwing in things that you don't need, So I think that was the other point I would have made on this is I thought they did a good job in the length of their songs in terms of you didn't get too bored because it wasn't too long.
One of the best Kiss albums ever made, and they made it in such a short time. Dress to Kill. That's a perfect analogy, right?
I thought you were going to say Monster.
Yeah, that one was too damn long. They should have cut them damn songs in half.
We should do that one day just to make Jim listen to it.
Holy God, I don't want to listen
just
to
as his penance for being on the show. You must review
every 3 weeks.
He'll like it. He'll like it probably.
He'd probably like it more than we will.
You never know.
Oh, yeah.
All right, track 8, Plenty of Love.
Okay, guys, we got another cheesy chick song here, and that's what it is. That's what it is, man. It's high quality cheese, in my opinion. I like cheesy stuff. I mean, I'm a Kiss fan. Come on. Yeah, it's not my favorite on the album. I think that this one's a little forced. I love the riff. I love the beat. I love the verses. In this one, it's the chorus that's not quite as good, in my opinion. And a lot of times choruses can really just either they're this, or sometimes they'll fit the song perfectly. I don't think this one fits it as good, but there's so many good things about the song that I can't say I hate the song. I think it's a damn good tune. It's not a throwaway. It's a deep track. Like I said, it's hard to find filler tracks on some of these. It's almost blasphemy to me to call them filler tracks because I actually like parts of the songs good enough to make it work. But it's just the standard, and that again makes you try to figure out, well, you didn't have to make 13 songs for this album. All these songs are typically good. And we still haven't got to my number one that I think should have been released immediately. But anyway, yes, I can deal with it, but it's not my favorite on here. So There you go.
I would agree that it's a deep cut. I don't know how deep it is, but for me, I thought it was a little predictable lyrically, right? But like you said, it was a cheesy chick song, you know. But so for me, it wasn't one of my favorites out of the bunch. I thought some of the other ones were a lot better. That's all I really have to say on this one. I just thought it was a little predictable lyrically.
It's just a standard rock song.
Yeah. So, compared to some of the other ones that they put forth, right? But we're gonna have this conversation at every album we listen to, right?
Yeah.
There's always gonna be standouts, and there's gonna be some that are just a little bit less. And you know, you only have so much time to write an album, and you know, and sometimes you use something that maybe you wouldn't have used, maybe if you would have done 12 songs on the album. And I'm not saying this is that one. It's just that, you know, it's hard to write a great song every time you sit down, unless you're
I agree.
You know, yeah.
AC/DC.
Yes, the whole genre was predictable, but people like predictability. People like predictability. You know, people like something that makes them feel good and it feels comfortable to them. If you go too far out of people's comfort zone, sometimes I think that messes with their heads a little bit. I like it sometimes, and but some of my favorite artists, when they've done something that's been really off the wall, you know, I've like, you know, no, I'm not going to say, you know. So again, to me, it was just kind of predictable lyrically, right? So for me, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all three going to say the same thing. This one feels a bit more lightweight than the rest of them. To me, just lacks a killer hook in this song. As I said, there's nothing. It's not badly done. It just doesn't have that wow factor at all. I wouldn't call it filler. You know, it's a solid album track, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, you know, we'd all like to write 10 solid album tracks. I know some bands that have made a living out of it.
Good luck if you can write an album.
Stones.
It's all hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Rolling Stones haven't written a good song in their entire catalog, and yet, you know.
Yeah, they have.
They're one.
I'll even take up for them for that. I'll even take up for them for that. Man.
No. The only good song they ever wrote was because somebody else did it and made it better.
Sympathy for the Devil, baby.
2009.
Sympathy for the Devil.
And you know you're in trouble if Ace makes you sound better. All right.
Yeah.
What? You mean you don't like Emotional Rescue, Dave?
I hate Emotional Rescue. That is probably the worst song. That is Start Me Up.
You don't like Start Me Up?
I hate Start Me Up.
I think after 1979 is when I stopped listening to the Stones. So.
My mate went out and bought that single.
Honky Tonk Woman, baby.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yes. Damn right.
I don't even know what a honky tonk woman is.
Yeah, well, you need one. It'll change your life forever, brother.
I'll talk with you later.
Probably got a penis. Got a penis, isn't it?
I hadn't met them yet. Now that honky tonk woman, I hadn't met that one.
I don't want my woman with any honky tonk hanging down there. Thank you.
It must be the language barrier between Australia and the U.S.
I was born in the UK.
Yeah, there's things that mean different things. Yeah,
I'm from their country, remember? So
yes, you are, and they sent you to the penal colony, right? Because that's what Australia started off as, right?
Well, not all of it.
Hey, yeah, wasn't it psychos, right? A bunch of psychos.
Don't forget, you guys are all from the UK as well.
Well, yeah, we are.
You're a colony as well.
We are. We're all the undesirables that they didn't want.
Scottish Irish kilt, right here, baby, in the flesh.
Don't forget the Welsh. All right.
Bowman.
Track number 9. I hope this is about a girl, not a boy. Stevie.
Yes.
My Stevie.
Okay, man. Yeah. Now we're getting back to the first 4 tracks. The punch, the intro, the great sound, great licks, great beat, great vocals. Now, like Dave said, the title kind of, you know, it is repetitive, but he says it different every time. It's not the same. It's not the same sound, man. I can deal with it on this song, but he must have wrote this about Stevie Nicks or something, you know. I mean, because that's how she spells her name. Did he have an affair with her or something? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's spelled like a chick Stevie instead of a dude Stevie. So thank God for that. But
I've got plenty of friends called Steven, and I don't call any of them Stevie. Trust me.
Stevie
yeah,
Wonder.
I had a yeah, I had a cousin named Stevie. And a lot of people called him Steve, but I always called him Stevie because I grew up with him. He lived in Atlanta, of course, but yeah, we've seen each other all the time on holidays and stuff. But anyway, he's the one that gave me the Rock and Roll Over 8-track. That's the first thing I ever got from Kiss, man, because he's like 7 years older. He was the oldest, you know, on that side, on my dad's side. But anyway,
I was going to say not a bad first album to get from Kiss, though.
Hell no, man. It's 7-year-old too, dude. I mean, I started getting into them right there, right before Love Gun came out. What a perfect time. But anyway,
that's the album Jim's got, Love Gun.
Not anymore.
But anyway, yeah, man. This one, it's good. I like everything about this song. It's just the title, and I don't, you know, where are we going here with my Stevie? That's it though. And a lot of times, I know Rob's the same way. Lyrics, we don't really pay attention to a lot of them if the music's great, and the music's great on this one. Even the sound, you know, what he's talking about, it could give a shit about. There you go. I like it. I think it goes with the first 3 or 4 first 4 on here that we done. I think it goes in that category. So yeah, we're still climbing the hill a little bit for me. That's my opinion. All right, Jim.
Okay. So this, maybe I fell asleep here, but I just didn't feel like there were a lot of dynamics to the song compared to the others musically. So I didn't think it really lived up to some of the other ones, but so it didn't really stand out for me. And I'll probably agree with you. I probably didn't really listen to the lyrics on this one too much. So for me, it was an okay song. But again, when I met with Chris in the studio today, and we were talking about this album because I'd asked him if he'd ever heard of it, and he hadn't. But you know, he's younger than me, so but by a good margin. But again, he said, and I told him, you know, that, you know, I'd looked at, besides my friend Mike Howell, who really loved the album, you know, I looked at some different reviews and stuff, and it was kind of mixed, right? Some people really love it, some people hated it, and I said, well, but Mike really liked it, and he goes, then, you know, we must have fallen asleep somewhere on this album because, you know, we didn't know, you know, if it only got to 79 and it's a really great album, then a lot of people fell asleep on it in some ways, right? Because it didn't, it obviously didn't sell enough, right?
A lot of people didn't know about this album because I'm one of them. Yeah, and I was a fan and bought their first album, and I didn't even know the damn thing had come out. So it did not get pushed at all. So if I hadn't have been a fan of the band already, I would probably, I don't even know, I'd probably be like you guys and never probably even heard it before.
And to be honest, if I had heard the name, I would have thought it was a girl, right? Because you had Samantha Fox at the same time, right? Doing her stuff. But I would have thought that it was, and it's actually, I guess it's based on the name of an ancestral name from one of the guys in the band from Scotland or Ireland or somewhere. But I mean, I read just a little bit about them. But so yeah, I definitely didn't hear it the same way you do, but that's okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. To me, it was just in the middle for me.
The reason I guess I like this one so much, I know it was simple. Like I said, I'm an AC/DC fan.
I
It's
like
got
simple
that
songs.
steady. It's got that steady beat all the way through, man. That just a lot of times simplicity works for me,
Oh
man.
yeah, well,
If the
it always
sound's
works for
there,
me.
that is me. So yeah.
Yeah, simple usually works for me pretty well too. All right, Dave, I'm done.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Scotty, because in my note I could imagine AC/DC doing this song. It
Yeah.
just had that feel to it. And it's one of those songs I think on the album. I'm not sure why I like it, but I just do.
Me
There's
too.
just something about it that I don't know. It's just got that rhythm to it that it's just pleasant to listen to. So I said I can't really tell you why. I didn't really listen to the lyrics either, so I can't tell you who Stevie is. I'm hoping it's a girl, as I said.
Yeah.
I think
Otherwise,
so.
I might have to drop it down my list a bit. But I just, to me, it was just a really enjoyable song. So, yeah, no reason why, just it is.
I think I don't know what their influences were, Scott, but I know there were a couple times in here where I thought, oh, there's some similarities to AC/DC, right? Where it
yes,
like
a lot.
It was in there somewhere in the DNA, in a couple of spots, and it wasn't a direct thing, but just a couple of times it felt like it. And there's nothing, and that's not a bad thing.
No, I also had some times where I heard some earlier Crocus as well. So
yeah, there you go. I mean, that steady hard punch beat, man. That's AC/DC, dude. They stick with it through a song, even though, like I said, you're not going to find two songs of theirs that sound alike. But whatever beat they use for that song, that's the beat you're going to get through that song. Yeah, there's going to be some change ups and cymbals, when Angus is playing his lead and stuff like that. But the simplicity and the sound, to me, if it hits you, then it hits you, man. And like Dave took the words out of my mouth on this song, I can't really explain why I like it so much because I don't know who the hell Stevie is. But it's the delivery. It's the delivery that he's given with his vocals and the music as a background, but it blends so well. The punch, the the hook or whatever, the riff, it just, man, it works. Don't have to be some.
It's got that drum out in front as well. Just
yes, and I'm a drummer freak, man, and I love that. So.
All right. Well, let's see if track 10, which is usually the end of an album, can shine on.
Okay, now I've got, this one's not going to be as good as the last couple, but there's only one reason for that. Everything about this song to me is perfect. It sounds great. It's sung great. They get really high with the harmonizing on this with the chorus. It's the chorus itself. That's the only thing that makes this not as good as the other ones that, the first four and the last couple we've done, to me, because they're just spitting it out there. Shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on. That's the only thing. So, yeah, I like the song. I think it's a great sounding song. The verses and everything are sung well. Everything else is perfect besides the chorus. So, yeah, it blends right in with some of these other songs on here, man. Still a good tune, good beat, good sound, sung well. Just things like that, man, can knock it down a skosh or two for me. So, all right.
I agree with the man from North Carolina on this one.
Woo.
The drum sounds are huge on this one. I really like it.
Yeah.
But the chorus probably holds it back, right? So for me, I'm kind of like you on this. It was done well, but the chorus kind of lacks something. And you know, there's people that write choruses that just have a couple of words in them, and I don't know what they could have done different, you know. But yeah, I agree with you, Scott, on this one. So that was basically my notes too.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can
David, it's up to
piggyback
you
off
now.
the two of you. Yeah, well, I've said the same thing. The song is good, but the chorus is so unforgettable. Sorry, so forgettable that it just ruins the
It's
rest
so
of it.
bad, it's unforgettable, man.
No, I'll remember it because
And it's the title of the song, you know.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't need to hear it all the time. Yeah, it's just the chorus itself is just doesn't do anything for me. Like I said, the rest of the song is fine.
Yeah.
We all know a chorus is so important. I mean, sometimes I think you're better off not having a chorus if you don't give me a good one.
Yeah.
Just give me some melodic verses. I'll be happy with that. But yeah, this one just misses the mark a little bit. Like I said, not a horrible song. Just there are a lot more on this album that are so much better. But like
say it a couple of times and stretch it out instead of just back to back to back to back. You know, like I said, what the hell do I know? But I think the song's great until the chorus. So we all agreed on that one. So
yeah, it's like an Ace Frehley song. It's
oh, shut up.
Great, it's great until the chorus.
That's when he shines. What are you talking about?
Oh, come on. Number 11 is Angel in My Heart.
We have arrived, buddy. This is the song right here. This is the song right here, boy. This right here, in my opinion, for this band, was the missed opportunity that should have been released. It's got enough hard, the way it starts, dun, 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 you know, got that photograph, Def Leppard almost type, you know, with just the guitar, but not the same, you know, not the same style. And then it starts with the bass, dun, 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 and then just takes off with the drums, him belting it out, just power all the way through, man. And there's enough sex appeal in the song for the chicks to love. It's Angel in My Heart, for God's sakes. A high tempo ballad almost, but it's perfect from start to finish. The chorus is sung to perfection. They do everything perfect on this song, just like Long Way to Love on their first album. Perfect song. Not a misstep in it. Nothing out of place. To me, this is the perfect Britny Fox song with nothing to pick at. Now, that's my opinion. I think this one should have been released, and I think this one right here would have been more powerful enough and more almost sappy enough for the chicks. I think this one would have done it. But what do you know? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. So, but that's my favorite song at this point in time by Britny Fox, along with Long Way to Love. Those two stand top for me.
Well, we're all armchair quarterbacks, right?
Yes, we are.
I had this in my top three. Yeah, maybe the lyrics are a little, as you called them, sappy, or maybe I think Jeff, you called them cheesy in a way in the chorus. But you know what? Cheese sells. And yeah, if it wasn't released as a single, that's kind of surprising because I think it does fit the mold of a single because it's got those kinds of lyrics that people can repeat back and forth, and and like I said earlier, that's the name of the game, right? Is selling records.
Yeah.
And
And
so I
forget
liked
that
it.
solo. Holy fuck.
I think this one
But
had
anyway, go ahead.
this one had more melody and musicality for me. I liked it. I liked the chords and at the end of the chorus. So for me, I liked it. Again, but I can like some cheesy stuff sometimes, and I didn't think it was that cheesy. It was kind of that lovey-dovey kind of thing. Like you said, that's a song that maybe the ladies will gravitate to, and they buy records too.
Yep.
David,
They do. Well, I suppose we're all in agreement here. I had this as my second favorite song on the album. Yeah, I'd call it a melodic ballad.
Yes.
Still enough meat on the bones, though. It's not, sappy or sloppy. Yeah, I'm surprised this one didn't get released as well. But like I said, whether the band has much to say about that or whether the record company decides, what they think is going to be a better seller. But yeah, it surprises me they didn't, especially because this kind of music always sold well.
Damn right.
So, yeah, missed opportunity, I think. And great to see that track number 11 is such a great song because, as I said, normally we're dead and buried by track 10, and this one punches into track 11 quite fine. So,
damn right.
Can it maintain it for two more, though? I mean,
two more.
We're pushing,
so
we're pushing the Hot in the Shade album here.
We got to say something because I haven't seen it in the comments yet. Maybe it's because J-Bake's not here, but this was also the lead single off of Livewire, right? we can't have a show without Livewire, right? So
I think it usually comes out more when Gigi's here. So
yeah.
Well,
it was that she never lived down.
No. All right, number 12, Left Me Stray.
Yeah, we're going to come down a notch or two for this one, but I do like this song. The repetitiveness on this one is nowhere near Shine On. And yeah, it's just a slower tempo, mid-tempo rocker. Basically, you got them on this album. To me, it fits in the mold of that. Great sounding lead he is playing there, man. It's just God dang, man, some of the people that put these albums together for some of these bands that didn't really make it, to the top, man, or even close. But to me, whoever put an album like this together and the sound quality and stuff were really on top of it and doing their fucking job. I tip my bandana to whoever done that, man. The sound you can hear every day. Nothing is missed. That's what I guess makes me love an album like this so much is that sound. But yeah, we're not going to get better than Angel in My Heart in the last two, in my opinion, that is. Now, that's my opinion. But not a bad song at all. Fits well on this album.
Yeah. No, I agree. This is another one that kind of felt to me that had like a little bit of AC/DC in it in a couple places, right? It had that. But I agree, Jeff, the guitar sounds great on this album. And that was one of the things I mentioned early on was compared to some of the other kind of bands in this genre who kind of really went for the histrionic guitar playing stuff with all the bending of the whammy bar, vibrato, whatever you want to call it. This guy played everything pretty much straight up rock, kind of like Angus does, right? Just
Yes.
Just kind of balls to the walls, rock solos, right? And he didn't really kind of overplay them, and it does sound really good. So kudos to the engineer, because it really is about getting tone so that it stands out, but it doesn't overpower things. And that's a trick that I don't really know how to do. Chris does, but I don't, which is why he went to school to learn all that stuff. But yeah, no, I like the song. You're right. It's not going to get better than Angel from here on out, but it was a good song. I liked it.
Yeah, I think this one fits in perfectly with a lot of the other songs. Technically, on my ranking, was equal last, but out of my ranking out of 10, this song still got a 7 out of 10, which is a respectable score. So even though it's tied for the worst song on the album, it's still not a bad song. So, and like I said, pretty hard. I mean, it would have been okay to finish with Angel in My Heart. Would have been a great album closer. So, you're going to push another couple of songs. You want to deliver. And I think the last song on the album is called Long Road. Well, maybe that's a good title for an album with 13 songs.
Yeah.
It's been a long road. Is it going to be a good ending to the journey?
We shall see.
We shall see.
We wish they did. We wish they finished earlier, but yeah, we'll go to track number 13, Long Road.
Yeah, I said this album was put together perfectly, and it was pretty much most of the way. I don't think this is a good closer. It's not bad. It's got that steady tempo. Like I said, everything sounds good on here, man, that they do. This is one of my least favorite ones too. It's just a long road, brother. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. But it's got a great solo on it, man. There's elements, the beat, the vocals, the solo. When you've got 3 or 4 elements in a song, man, and a couple of things that you don't like about the song, I consider it a good damn song. And, if I can sit there and listen to it and not skip it, like this album doesn't seem like it's that long. It wasn't torture for me to listen to this fucking album, man. To me, that's how good this album was. There's bits and pieces here and there, man, but you got 13 songs on this damn thing. So, yeah, I mean, everybody's going to have their little niches, man, that they don't like better than others or whatever. But I think my Stevie would have been a good closer, and then you could have put this in that position right there. You could have went out really simple but rocking. But this is not too bad. This is not Every Rose Has Its Thorn going out with. So, but it's not bad, but it's one of my least favorite on the album. Jim.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of in that vein of what was kind of popular, right? With this genre, with the acoustic guitar, kind of not really ballad, but you know what I'm talking about. So for me, it doesn't bother me as a closer because I think it's their way of saying goodnight. And probably in a live show you wouldn't do it as a closer, for sure. It's just it's one of those songs that doesn't offend. Do you know what I mean? It's there. It does what it does. So yeah. It's not the best song on the album. To me, it's not the worst one, for sure. It's kind of fits in the middle.
Dream On got that one. Yeah.
kind of fits in the middle with some of the other ones, right? That again, it feels like they had to come up with one of these acoustic type songs in a way, right? Maybe that was, but again, it didn't get released as a single, so right. So, but maybe it was just they were trying to
Thank God
and do other things, right? So, Dave, it's up to you now.
I'm just
I actually really like the song. I'm just not convinced it was the best closer. I think they could have gone out with a bit more bang. I think this would have been, a much better song somewhere in the middle. Maybe when
that's all I was saying.
Bit of a lull. But it's like I said, it's a good song. It's a little bit different to some of the other songs on the album, which is all right because I don't particularly want an album that sounds exactly the same anyway. But yeah, like I said, I think we could have slipped it in maybe around 9, 10 on the album. I still think Angel in My Heart would have been a great way to close the album.
I'm on that with you, brother. I'm telling you, yeah.
So track 11 for me should have been track 13. And I think we would have been really happy. But I said overall a really good album. I enjoyed it. It's got me excited for Rob and I doing backtracks, hair metal, glam metal, heavy metal on Sunday because it might not appease all of our backtrack viewers, but it will Ricky because Ricky joined us the other day.
Yeah, okay.
And
yeah, man, look, an album that it's one of the many, god dang, you can go deep in the freaking archives, man, in the late 80s, dude, when these bands were just being processed like a damn conveyor belt, man. They were just coming out left and right, man, copying each other, but mostly stylistically, but this is one of the bands that I loved in the late 80s that had their own sound. I'm always a fan of somebody that's got their own sound, their own little thing that you can listen to if they come on the radio, whatever, if you still listen to a radio, but back then we did. You knew who that was. Man, you didn't have to second guess it or sit there and wait too long to say, oh yeah, you knew who they were. If you were into them, of course. A lot of great music was made then, but a lot of it was pushed aside because there were so many bands at that point in time. The people look at the 80s collectively as it was all one big just noise fest of music, man, of hair and all that. No, this right here started around 86. My favorite era is to 85. The first part of the 80s is my favorite. But there's a lot I love. A lot in the late 80s. But there were so many coming out that it was just, I don't know how the hell they even got as many out there in the world that we got. I'm glad they did. But it's small things like singles and stuff like that, man, to me that gets misrepresented for a band that can cause and alter the course of a band's future. Something that simple, in my opinion, can really change the directory for a band. I think those are the most important things as a band that you can do, and or the company they're working for. Make sure the right singles get released. That's just my opinion.
All right. Well, the interesting thing is going to be, Jim, what do you have for us?
What's next? Yeah. So I am going to go a little bit further back in the annals of history to the guy, to the band that first scared the crap out of all of our parents, to
Harvey Brown,
long before Tipper Gore and all of that stuff. We
Arthur
are going
Brown.
to Alice Cooper, $1 Billion Babies.
Yes. Hey.
Well, you've just made Scotty a happy boy.
Yes. Man, I ain't heard that one in
years. It's been a long time since I listened to that album. I had two really good friends. They're twins. They're brothers. They loved Alice Cooper, and when we'd go to their house, they'd be playing, $1 Billion Babies. They'd be playing Welcome to My Nightmare. All of them. I own some Alice albums. I don't own $1 Billion Babies, but it's got some great songs on it, and it's got some weird songs on it. And Alice they were definitely game changers, right? They helped. They kind of started the shock rock thing a little bit.
Yes.
So for those of you guys who think that I don't listen to anything heavy, my heavy stuff was back in those days, right? And so here's the $1 million question: did I like this album or did I hate it? That we just listened to. Everybody kind of figured that I would just say I didn't like it.
I didn't figure you would hate it, but I didn't figure it was your cup of tea. Altogether. It's
not my cup of tea. Am I going to go out and buy it? Am I going to put it on my playlist or anything? No. But now I've been educated a little bit, right? Where I've listened to something I normally wouldn't have listened to, have a little bit more respect for that artist. And I think that's all any of us can ever expect when we listen to something we've never heard before, is to see, well, why did people like it? What is it that I didn't get, or why didn't I know about it? And so that's what I got from this. Is what I get from any of these things that we listen to. Yeah, I'd say that I would say I'm kind of mixed in the middle on it, right? I like the music to it. I just didn't like the guy singing on some of it, but I'm probably not going to listen to it again. So yeah, I will.
There you go.
Will I listen to $1 Billion Babies again? Yes, because I was an Alice Cooper fan, and like I said, I do own a number of their albums. So anyway, there it is. $1 Billion Baby.
An interesting one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, talking of babies, join us tomorrow night for Scotty and I doing Born Again with the cover with the demonic baby on the front. That's an album that scared the shit out of me when I first listened to it too. So.
Yeah, man. Me too, bro. Me too. I'm not gonna lie, man.
And if my mum had seen that album cover, I probably would have been kicked out of home. So,
I'd have had
one you had to tuck away from the parents because it was, it was an evil-looking cover. Let's put it that way.
Rosemary's Baby, man.
Well, I bought that album just because I saw the cover when I went to the record store, and I obviously knew Black Sabbath very well. But,
didn't we all?
It was like, whoa, I've got to get that. I don't know what's on here, but I've got to get that because I don't remember them playing anything on the radio here. But because I wouldn't say there was many radio-friendly songs on it. But
I think, no, there's not, but they did release one single, and it was trashed. They did release that, and it was actually a video on MTV. But it didn't get much airplay at all.
No.
Maybe Headbangers Ball. Yeah.
You're either going to like that, you're not going to like it. It's not going to be something that casual listeners are going to.
That's not the middle of the road for anybody.
Hell yeah! What did you think of your caricature?
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I liked it.
I did that one.
I think. Did you do that one? Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think Dana said that you got the teeth wrong.
Well,
I want him to get rid of my damn character. Hell, I look like a freaking meth head. Holy shit.
Yeah. No,
well, that was taken early in the morning when you wake up.
Yeah. It was good fun, Dave, and I forwarded the link to the guys, and they got a kick out of it. So thank you.
No worries. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in again. Like I said, catch Scotty and I tomorrow night, and obviously we need alternatives back next Monday night, and flip side next week, $1 Billion Babies from the legendary Alice Cooper. So until then, see you next time.
Listen to Born Again. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe.